Hello and welcome back. Let's get started with a quick demo. Let's start by creating a new transaction and let's start fill in the transaction details. Here we've chosen a template where Brian is trying to sell his home. So it's a listing preparation template. Go ahead and hit save. This brings us to the transaction details page where some of the details specific to the template are requested. Let's go ahead and enter them. Once we have these entered, let's hit save. And this brings us to the page where it asks us to review what we've just entered over here, as well as be able to start generating the transaction tasks. So let's go ahead and click on generate transaction tasks over here. Once the tasks are generated, you'll come back to the same page where it'll display a dashboard of where you are at, and also again displays all of the details you entered earlier on. So the first thing, all the actions to be taken are here. This is similar to what's already in the dashboard over here. So the contacts, tasks, Q&A, any files you need to upload, and all kinds of email communication that may be needed. But let's go over these one at a time. The first thing to do, as indicated in this dashboard, is to probably complete entering some of your contacts. So let's go ahead and do that. Click on the contacts tab, and then let's create a new contact. Once we have all of these entered, let's go ahead and hit save. And that should take us back to the contacts page where it displays the newly entered contact. So the next thing we want to do is to go and complete the task. You can go back to this info page where it kind of tells you again the dashboard page where you stand. So contacts have been entered. You can enter other optional contacts, but let's get into the tasks at this point. So these are all the tasks that have been generated for this. And these are all the current tasks, and these are all the upcoming tasks that you see. There are 0 completed tasks and 0 archived or deleted tasks. There's also a calendar view you can click on, which kind of gives you a calendar representation of what the tasks are. It also tells you, it's also color coded to tell you what the status of the tasks are, and shape coded to tell you who is responsible for the task. So the square boxes are client, and these circles are for the agent to complete, and the status is color coded. So you can switch back and forth between these two views, and it's obviously ordered by the order of when it's due. Only one task is due today, and so that's the one highlighted in yellow. Tasks get overdue, they'll get highlighted in a different color. So these buttons here on the right hand side, they could be used for various actions such as editing a task, completing a task. So you check this box and the task would basically be completed. So you can go back to the completed tab. I can see that task has been completed. So as you complete the task, you can do that. There's also this cool feature which is sending an email to the client. Let's pick this one, complete home inspection. You want to tell the seller that it may be a good idea to do a home inspection, so you discover all the defects that are there beforehand so we can fix them. So in order to do that, you're going to send them a reminder and click on this email icon. And what it does, it automatically spits out an actual reminder with the details all populated, with the subject populated, with the body populated, letting your client know that this is what we need to do, the reasons why we're doing it. And so all of this is good for you to go. All you need to do is simply review, and if everything looks good to you, click send, and then that has been sent. And so anyway, let's quickly jump to email and take a look here. If you go to the list, that email you just sent is actually monitored over here. It comes back. So anytime you want to go back and see, the emails you sent or the emails you received, and we'll come to the receiving emails in a second, but all of those are tracked here. So for the emails you receive, any email that includes this address that I'm highlighting over here, that will be absorbed by the system, and it'll show up in this email list. So while we're talking email, let me show you the compose email. So you can go here. If you want to send an email to somebody, you basically go here, hit that compose button, and then you only have one contact, right, or two contacts right now, including yourself. So you can only send to them. But so you can draft your email from this box. It pre-populates it with the with the footer as well as the subject line, which has the property address in this case, and then type the rest of it. And then you can hit send. And of course, that email again, if you do send it, will get captured back in here. So anyway, so those are all the tasks, and that's how you manage them. The next thing would be to the Q&A notes section. So this is where you keep track of all the Q&A you asked of your client. So in this scenario, you asked the client for 10 different things, and we'll log into the client to show that real quick. But these are all of the tasks that have been assigned to the client. So for example, you want the client to let you know what are the utility providers. So, and again, you want hit reply to this, but when Brian logs in, he will go in and hit reply, and then he would basically then, use the thread to then, provide an answer. And so he would continue doing this until he's done with all of these. Now, how does even Brian get access? So we haven't even talked about that. So you go back to the contacts page here, and then there is this icon. So clicking this icon basically will provide Brian his contact. So go ahead and click that icon. It'll basically say, "Are you sure you want to provide contact for this login?" You say, "Okay," and basically login will be created, email will be sent to Brian, and from there he'll have the instructions to be able to authenticate his account and then be able to log in as himself. So that's how Brian would come and he would see a very similar screen, but his tasks would be limited to only the tasks that are basically have client over here. So he'll only see his client task. As the agent, you would see all the tasks, but Brian would only see his tasks. And of course, same thing goes for the calendar view, and same thing goes for the Q&A. He would basically see all of this, and here it'll show up for him as things he needs to complete. So he needs to basically hit reply on each one of these and answer them. And then going to the Files tab, this is pretty straightforward as well. You go here. Let's say we want to upload a seller's disclosure statement. Let's go ahead and click on Choose File and choose the seller's disclosure statement. Then you can type in the file description, hit save, and basically that gets you that uploaded. You can even, when you're sending email, one thing you could do, if you want to email this seller's disclosure, you can actually just check the box and that'll go to the email if you want to send email attachments of files you already uploaded. Back to the Q&A, you can also create a new topic, and then you could basically type some informational stuff. And then, so if you want to save something that you want to capture, you could go ahead and do that. So it's useful for other just noting down other information as well. So that completes our really quick, less than 10-minute demo. We'll do another one where we get into more details. And coming back to the main page again, you have the transaction here. Kind of gives you the task progress. If you have multiple transactions, they will all show up here, and in one view you can see where the task progress is for all of them. And here's a quick look of the daily email summary that the agent gets. This is all the tasks that are upcoming or not started yet. And if you go back to another email which Brian would have received, he would have gotten his set of tasks. He also gets these are the questions that are waiting for him to be answered. So he gets these as well. So, and then it also lists all the activity that has happened since the previous day, all the files that are uploaded. It didn't show that in the agent view because the agent was the one who uploaded it. It shows it for the other parties. And there we go. So he gets his daily email, and then all he has to do is click on the link and be able to complete these tasks as needed. That completes this short and quick 10-minute demo. I wanted to do it in 5 minutes, but it took 10. And there would be a more detailed demo coming up, which may be up to an hour long or more, which will get into all the nuances because there's a number of features that I just skipped over. but hopefully we can cover that. Thank you.